Why were you doing this to our family? Why did you have to be so aggressive that day?
A heartbreaking story you'll see only on KOLD this morning. The son of a man killed in a road rage shooting, speaking out about what happened. Also happening now, better control of the Burro fire burning near Mount Lemmon. More good news from the front lines as that fire burns.
Yeah, we need some good news. We've been following the story since it started 1 week ago in the Santa Catalinas. We have live team coverage of every angle of this fire for you. New road closures, hot temperatures for firefighters, and really for us all.
That's right. KOLD News 13's Morgan Kirkland kicking off our team coverage with new information now on that Burro fire. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning, guys. So we are here live at Sabino High School. This is more or less a makeshift headquarters for all of firefighters. Right now, it's still pretty quiet, still very early in the morning. This morning, crews are preparing for possible thunderstorms with a lot of erratic wind. In the past, this combination has been pretty deadly. Again, the briefing happens in 2 hours right here at Sabino High School. We'll be airing that briefing live over on our Facebook page. So I've been collecting questions from all of you at home right here. If you have questions for the firefighters, you can send them on over to me using our Facebook page. You can leave our question right there in the comments section. For now, though, that is the very latest. From the foothills, Morgan Kirkland, KOLD News 13, live local, late breaking.
Later tonight, there's another community meeting for evacuees of the Burro fire. It's at 5:30 at Saguaro High School on North Camino Seco.
All right, coming up on 5:02 on our Friday morning, as you saw, we are waking up to another First Alert Action Day because of the excessive heat that we are going to be experiencing once again. And I am tracking increasing rain chances as we head into the weekend. And will we see any heat relief for next week? That's all coming up in my full forecast in just a bit. Wendy.
When crews are on the fire lines, weather is one of the biggest things on their minds, but they're also thinking back to past destructive fires in the Catalinas. Heidi Schewel with the Forest Service says they learned some big lessons from the Bullock Fire and the Aspen Fire more than a decade ago. She says some of the same dangerous conditions exist with the Burro Fire.
There are always going to be things that influence what happens. Fuels, which you can kind of have some control over, like we're doing by removing some. Topography, which you have no control over, and then there's the wild card of weather, and weather can change everything.
It absolutely can. The Bullock Fire burned 33,000 acres in 2002. The Aspen Fire, more than 84,000 acres, and destroyed much of Summerhaven.
5:03 right now, Wendy. We are heading out the door in Tucson here, and we have a look at those closures because of the Burro fire. If you're just joining us, we still have the 3 that we had yesterday.
It's 5:04, and this morning a very busy wildfire season for crews continues across Arizona. In our next half hour, we're breaking down the numbers behind this active season. That as our team coverage continues all morning here on KOLD News 13.
Late breaking news now out of Germany and the G20 summit. Take a look at this brand new video. It's the handshake many of you have been waiting for. Russian President Vladimir Putin and President Trump there. You can see the handshake and then the shoulder grab there. There it is one more time. This is also brand new video I just got of the class photo here at the G20 summit. You can see all of the leaders, Angela Merkel right there in the middle and President Trump there on the far right end. So President Trump and Putin will meet officially later this afternoon. We'll be staying on top of that for you. And take a look at this other new video or picture I just got. These are protests that continue along the street. I'm told Melania Trump is stuck in her hotel right now because protesters are blocking the street. So much more to come from this meeting out of Germany. I'm going to be staying on top of it for you all morning long.
New developments now on tensions with North Korea. South Korea's president says he is now willing to meet North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. This follows the North's first intercontinental ballistic missile test launched days ago. South Korea's leader says he wants to try to resolve the standoff concerning North Korea's weapons programs by talking and using other pressure. Today, the UN is set to sign a new treaty on nuclear disarmament. This is the first multilateral one in 20 years. It'll be adopted later today in New York.
But I had my doubts, I thought, maybe he just, got unconscious, but he was gone.
Only on KLD News 13 this morning, we're hearing from the son of a man killed in a road rage shooting. You're looking at a memorial new this morning for Martin Padilla at the spot where it happened. Padilla was shot and killed a week ago today. It happened during a fight in the parking lot at Arizona Pavilions. He died in front of his 4 children. And this here is the man police say he got in a fight with. Investigators say Marcus Dixon shot Padilla twice, claiming Padilla was on top of him in the fight and couldn't get free. He is facing manslaughter charges at this hour. And this morning, Padilla's teenage son speaking out about his father's death. Hamza Padilla was behind the wheel on their way to Burger King. His dad was in the passenger seat, 3 siblings in the back. He says his dad was very loving, very kind. Hamza also says his dad always made sure he and his siblings were safe, even in his final moments. Listen.
He looked at our car, our van that we were driving, and he looked from my side all the way down to where my brothers and sisters were sitting, just to make sure we were okay. Then he looked up and he died.
Wow. Much more on our exclusive interview with Hamza Padilla on our website, TucsonNewsNow.com.
A Tucson man now faces charges after deputies say he made a threat at Arizona Senator Jeff Flake's office. One of Flake's staffers says during a protest, Mark Pritchard claimed liberals would solve the Republican problem by, quote, getting better aim. This obviously in reference to the shooting in Virginia last month that injured Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise and 4 others. Senator Flake, who was at this shooting, tweeted, quote, there is no place for threats of violence in a democratic society ever. Patrick Deal was also charged with trespassing. Deputies say he tried to force his way into Flake's office. In Senator Flake's Phoenix office, another protest. Officials arrested 5 people for trespassing. Both protests centered around the Senate GOP health care plan.
Congressman Raul Grijalva talking here at home about the Republican plan to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. More than 100 people taking part in this forum to hear the congressman, many holding signs pushing to keep Medicaid intact. Arizona has almost 2 million people who rely on it.
This whole replacement, repeal and replace process that we've been going through has nothing to do with health care reform, nothing to do with health policy.
It's no secret Republicans have had a very hard time getting enough support from conservatives and moderates to pass their version of the health care bill. And at this hour, we are learning about more and how many people in Arizona would lose insurance under the Senate plan. Take a look. These projected numbers for 2020 are from the Urban Institute. They say 65,000 fewer people under 18 would be uninsured. 17,000 fewer between 19 and 34 would be covered. About 150,000 people between 35 and 54 would have insurance, and we're told about 48,000 between 54 and 65 would be uninsured.
It's now 5:10. We're learning more about a rise in the number of deadly crashes in our state. What you need to be looking out for when you get behind the wheel this morning.
And we are watching this heat for you on the 2nd straight First Alert Action Day. How do construction workers power through this? Well, I'll let you know when we come back.